We are Group 517 and we're presenting a policy-related strategy against childhood poverty. So what is childhood poverty? According to the founder and president of the Children's Defense Fund, it's a moral disgrace and profound economic threat that nearly 1 in 5 children are poor in the wealthiest nation on earth, permitting more than 12.8 million of our children to live in poverty when we have the means to prevent it is unjust and unacceptable. And we see here that it's a common trend that the more we invest out of our GDP in social programs, the less childhood poverty we have. The United States only invests 12% of their GDP into social programs, and because of that, our childhood poverty rate is at 20% compared to, let's say, Denmark's almost 3%.
So why are other countries better at dealing with childhood poverty? Let's look at an example. The USA versus Denmark, which is a country that's doing the best at dealing with childhood poverty right now. The USA has a low expenditure on social programs, while Denmark has a higher expenditure on them. For education, the USA has public universities that cost tens of thousands, while Denmark has education that's free and supported by the state. There's free advice also there and assistance to all mothers, while in the USA only certain people are eligible for the WIC programs. For healthcare, it is free in Denmark and available to everyone, while Medicaid is restrictive and for who and how it provides assistance for in the USA. Social Security in the USA suffers a lot of criticisms, while in Denmark, unemployment, disability, old age, and survivorship benefits.
Okay, on to our solution. We chose to focus on the low-income portion since, according to the graph on the left, mortality rates per birth are clearly affected by income, regardless of the race. Now, some of the wealthy people feel that if people in poverty tried hard enough, they should be able to get out of poverty and seize their opportunities, and that many people in poverty are only poor because they are lazy. Well, according to the graph on the right, that's not entirely true. See, a low income leads to hunger, poor health, and poor living conditions, and when all the money goes towards solving that, it leads to a lack of education. This means there's less opportunities for most of the people, and that in turn leads to a low income again. Now, we intend to break this cycle by opening free clinics in low income areas to provide aid to other low income mothers. Now, we realize that our proposed solution seems a bit open-ended, so to start off with, we're going to narrow it down to offering help to parents with children just under 5. If you take a look at the graph on the right, you'll see that 5 is not really just an arbitrary number that we picked.
So, what needs to change? Some ideas that we are presenting is to have a paid pregnancy leave, which would in there support the mother, have prenatal care for all mothers, have education support, like financially, for the children around the ages 1 through 5, and stop the cycle of poverty by helping with financial needs and inserting policies that would help them, like supporting Planned Parenthood and have women's health clinics in low-income areas. That is a way that we can stop the cycle of poverty.
Challenges we might face. People are worried about bigger governments. More encompassing social programs means a more encompassing government. People feel there's more income mobility in the US and less of a need for social programs. The ethnic and class divisions mean certain voters are less inclined to choose redistributive policies. The federal system in place leaves many policies up to the individual states, which will limit the size of the government. People feel those who are in poverty are personally responsible for their condition and should not benefit from those who do work. The cycle of poverty tends to perpetuate itself and is very difficult to escape. Some people actually don't know enough about poverty to know what will truly help. Here's how we can overcome that. There is already a huge movement in place to help combat childhood poverty and mothers without basic health care, which helps with our plan. The necessary infrastructure and policy is already there, it only needs to be refined and expanded. We need to spread awareness about one of the ways to reduce poverty. As we said before, many voters are hesitant to choose redistributive policies, so we need to clearly outline the problem and the solution. We also need to outline the benefits of reducing childhood poverty. If moral obligation is not enough, then maybe external incentives such as an improved economy should be explained.